ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। प्रातः स्मरामि हृदि संस्फुरदात्मतत्त्वम् सच्चित्सुखं परमहंसगतिं तुरीयम् यत्स्वप्नजागर सुषुप्तमवेति नित्यम् तद्ब्रह्म निष्कलमहं न च भूतसङ्घः। तपोभिक्षीणपापानां शान्तानां वीतरागिणां मुमुक्षूणामपेक्षोऽयम् आत्मबोधो विधीयते बोधोऽन्यः साधनेभ्यो हि साक्षान्मोक्षैकसाधनम् पाकस्य वह्निवत् ज्ञानं विना मोक्षो न सिद्ध्यति अविरोधितया कर्म न विद्यां विनिवर्तयेत् विद्या विद्यां निहन्त्येव तेजस्तिमिरसङ्घवत् परिच्छिन्न इवाज्ञानात् तन्नाशे सति केवलः स्वयं प्रकाशते ह्यात्मा मेघापायेषुमानिव अज्ञानकलुषं जीवं ज्ञानाभ्यासाद् विनिर्मलं कृत्वा ज्ञानं स्वयं नश्येत् जलं कतकरेणुवत् संसारस्वप्नतुल्यो हि रागद्वेषादिसङ्कुलः स्वकाले सत्यवद्भाति प्रबोधे सत्यसद्भवेत् तावत् सत्यं जगद्भाति शुक्तिकारजतं यथा यावन्न ज्ञायते ब्रह्म सर्वाधिष्ठानमद्वयम् उपादानेऽखिलाधारे जगन्ति परमेश्वरे सर्गस्थितिलयान्यान्ति बुद्बुदानीव वारिणि सच्चिदात्मन्यनुस्यूते नित्ये विष्णौ प्रकल्पिताः व्यक्तयो विविधाः सर्वा हाटके कटकादिवत् यथा काशो हृषीकेशो नानोपाधिगतो विभुः तद्भेदाद् भिन्नवद्भाति तन्नाशे केवलो भवेत् नानोपाधिवशादेव जातिवर्णाश्रमादयः आत्मन्यारोपितास्ते आत्मन्यारोपितास्तो ये रसवर्णादिभेदवत् पञ्चीकृतमहाभूत सम्भवं कर्म सञ्चितं शरीरं सुखदुःखानां भोगायतनमुच्यते पञ्चप्राणमनो बुद्धिः पञ्चप्राणमनो बुद्धिः दशेन्द्रियसमन्वितम् अपञ्चीकृतभूतोत्तं सूक्ष्माङ्गं भोगसाधनम् अनाद्यविद्यानिर्वाच्य कारणोपाधिरुच्यते उपाधित्रितया धन्य आत्मानमवधारयेत् पञ्चकोशादियोगेन तत्तन्मय इव स्थितः शुद्धात्मा नीलवस्त्रादि योगेन स्फटिको यथा That's it.
Hari Om Brahmaraji. We completed the 8th one yesterday.
I don't remember the number. Yeah, this is what we did yesterday.
Yeah, the cause we were discussing the last. Yeah.
We also did this ninth one, Hatake Katakadivat.
Okay. Shall I just read the
Yeah, please do.
Shastri?
Yeah, do that.
All the manifested world of things and beings are projected by imagination upon the substratum, which is the eternal, all-pervading Vishnu, whose nature is existence, intelligence. I repeat, as there is internet instability. All the manifested world of things and beings are projected by imagination upon the substratum, which is the eternal, all-pervading Vishnu, whose nature is existence, intelligence, just as the different ornaments are all made out of the same gold. I will quickly browse through the text. An ordinary gross mind can never lift itself up to grasp easily the subtle truths of the highest Vedanta. Very frequently, innumerable examples are to be repeated to push the subtle philosophical ideas into the comprehension of an ordinary intellect. When they are quite apt, the students become pleasantly aghast at the revelations, and the truth becomes more and more clear to them. In any creation, there must be, as we have already noted, three fundamental and separate causes. First, the material cause or the raw material. Second, the instrumental cause, the equipment with which the object is created. And third, the efficient cause, the intelligence that creates or works at the material with the instruments. In all creations, the three causes exist separately, and the material cause transforms itself into the created new thing. But in the case of the creation of the world, the objects created are not different from the creator. The material cause, the one supreme Paramatman, itself manifests as different objects. For in the infinitude of its existence, there cannot be a second infinite. The waves in the ocean cannot claim a separate existence apart from the waters of the ocean. Likewise, this outer world and our own world of experiences in the physical, mental, and intellectual spheres rise from, exist in, and merge back into that one supreme awareness which glows in everybody. And like the bubbles that form and burst upon the surface of the water, different experiences in different bosoms rise and fall before that one consciousness. Here, Vishnu is not to be understood as the four armed divine deity of the Trinity, as the Puranas often describe. No doubt, when we conceive of a shape of the pens of the gold, no doubt, when we conceive of a shape of the pens to the gold, when a gold ring goes out of shape, or even when the ring is melted, so too. Even when the entire universe tumbles down, nothing happens to the eternal reality. It is ever changeless and immutable. It is ever changeless, immutable. I hope we had done the Manana yesterday. If anyone wants to share or um, यथाकाशो ऋषिकेशो नानोपाधिगतो विभुः तद्भेदाद्भिन्नवद्भाति तन्नाशे केवलो भवेत् यथा just as akashah space rishikeshah the omnipresent truth nanopadhigatah associated with various conditionings. Vibhuhu, the all-pervading. Tad bhedat, on account of their upadhis, manifold nature, distinct from each other. Bhinnavad bhati, appears to be diverse. Tannashe, on the destruction of these upadhis, kevalaha, one, bhavet, becomes. यथा आकाशः ऋषिकेशः नानोपाधिगतः विभुः तद्भेदात् भिन्नवद्भाति तन्नाशे केवल भवेत्. The all-pervading Akasha appears to be diverse on account of its association with various conditionings. upadhis, which are different from each other. Space becomes one on the destruction of these limiting agents. So also the omnipresent truth appears to be diverse on account of its association with the various upadhis and becomes one on the destruction of these upadhis. I read once again. The all-pervading Akasha appears to be diverse on account of its association with various conditionings, upadhis, which are different from each other. Space becomes one on the destruction of these limiting agents. So also the omnipresent truth appears to be diverse on account of its association with the various upadhis and becomes one on the association of these upadhis. Behind all this seeming multiplicity of existence and the manifold nature of our experience, the one unchanging substratum persists in all its splendor. This we variously call as the Brahman, the Paramatman, the Sat Chit Ananda, etc. This supreme being alone is the dynamic truth, and no differentiation is possible in this state of absolute reality. How then do we come to feel the plurality in the outer world of innumerable objects which we experience now as so real? If the spirit that pulsates through all the objects in and around us is that one without a second, why this conflict is being created by the perception of plurality in us? We discover the necessary courage to inquire in this fashion because we are not prepared to accept all statements of truth merely because they had been declared by the ancient and the learned. Both our head and heart must assimilate at any new idea before they can come, before they can become really our own. And in fact, then alone can these philosophical ideas readily reach our heart to guide us in our day-to-day life and its transactions. The word Rishikesha can be interpreted both in its mythological tradition as well as in its ancient usage. Taking it as Rish Kesha, it means one whose hair is made short. In the battlefield at Kurukshetra, we meet the Lord with all his curly hairs rolled up or clipped. In the ancient sense, the term Rishikesha can be dissolved as Rishika plus Isa is equal to Rishikesha. No doubt, Rishika is an old and obsolete word meaning sense organs. And so the epithet means Lord of our sense organs. The sense organs can function only so long as the life exists in us. So long as the self, which is the Lord of the senses, reigns in this body, so long only we able to see, smell, touch, speak, etc. It is the one and only spark of life that pervades everything. Without the flow of its enlivening spirit, nothing will operate in this body or exist in the outside world. That principle of life, that universal spirit, that all pervading Brahman is worthily called Vibhu. meaning the all-pervading. This all-pervading Vibhu, truth, the Brahman, appears to be the pluralistic world, as we have many times stated, because of the various conditionings, upadhis, through which it functions. For example, we construct different rooms in the vast open space, that is Akasha. And then we recognize distinct compartments in the one space as the drawing room, the bedroom, living room, etc. And then we ourselves become to treat the one Akasha as a multiple factor. We consider the numerous small spaces created by such a division as so many different room spaces. But when the walls are pulled down, the room spaces having separate individual existence and but thereby the akasha in none of them is destroyed. The room spaces become the one all space. Similarly, when an individual ego associates with its various limiting factors, upadhis, the cause for this world of plurality, comes to manifest. When once these forces of limitation are destroyed, the one truth that is the basis of existence for everything shines forth as the one sun of all the world and it, the one dynamic truth of life, is rediscovered as functioning through all the existence. Without it, there is no existence, and with this vibhu, everything comes to exist. The Atman is one and the same before and after its realization. The Atman is one and the same before and after its realization. But when it groans under certain imaginary limitations, all due to the wrong estimations of the distorting mind, we superimpose upon it certain upadhis. And when these false limitations are removed, it is realized and rediscovered as the one self ever dwelling everywhere. So beautiful. I will read once again. Behind all this seeming multiplicity of existence and the manifold nature of our experience, the one unchanging substratum persists in all its splendor. This we variously call as the Brahman, the Paramatman, the Sat Ananda, etc. This Supreme Being alone is the dynamic truth, and no differentiation is possible in this state of absolute reality. How then do we come to feel the plurality in the outer world of innumerable objects, which we experience now as so real? If the spirit that pulsates through all the objects in and around us is that one without a second, why this conflict is being created by the perception of plurality in us? We discover the necessary courage to inquire in this fashion because we are not prepared to accept all statements of truth merely because they had been declared by the ancient and the learned. Both our head and heart must assimilate any new idea before they can become really our own. And in fact, then alone can these philosophical ideas readily and readily reach our heart to guide us in our day-to-day life and its transactions.
I think here it is the jnana and vijnana. So we should make this our own. Otherwise, it will only remain a concept in our head unless we apply it. And that will come with an element of Shraddha. Otherwise, it's difficult for us to take whatever the ancients have said merely because they had been declared, right? And for that, we have to have that scientific mind to analyze, to reflect. We should not also be blindly believing all of that. It is pending inquiry. It is Shraddha's belief pending inquiry. So that vichara is so important there. Jnana
Yeah.
becomes jnana and Shraddha with vichara. Yeah.
Mhm.
See, otherwise, in the transactional world, now we are learning that everything is unreal. Everything is, the multiplicity is only an illusion. Without vichara, if we have directly applied this knowledge into the practical world, you can't function. You can't say, my hunger is not real, I will not eat. Hunger is real. You do experience hunger and you have to satisfy that. So there, that vichara, unless that vichara comes, we will not be able to intelligently live in this world, in the practical world. While living in this world, we will have to attach to the higher. Symbolized by Krishna standing 1 foot deeply rooted in on the floor, on the ground, and the other foot is just touching, only the toes are touching the floor. So deeply rooted in this Advaita, we will have to continue to live in the Dvaita world.
Yeah, so beautiful. So Jnana, Vijnana, both are Maya only, right, Brahmaraji?
We can't say Jnana is Maya.
Mm.
Is Maya is ignorance. Is the sum total of avidya is Maya. Is the one that veils everything.
Jnana is total awareness, so I don't think it is Maya.
Yeah, Jnana is something that um, reveals the truth.
Mm.
That is the light, That is the jnana, is the energy which gives the light, illuminates us, and removes the ignorance. So it cannot be Maya. It is not ignorance.
Mm. Okay.
Why did you say Maya? Jnana is Maya, Jnana and Vijnana.
Yeah, because in Saundarya Lahari or what this Lalita Sahasranam, everywhere, when we are talking about the Divine Mother, I mean, she's uh, like she's written as every, I mean, this all. Vijnana Ghanarupini.
No, we have to see in the context in which they have been used.
Mm.
Otherwise, we'll fall in such confusions.
Mm.
There will be some context. We cannot take one sentence. It has to be referenced here and there. And based on that, we have not to believe it. We have to, in which context that has been used, we have to see it, then come to conclusion. But Jnana is the light. That is what is the knowledge. We are following it. We are after it only. And that is revealed by the Guru. And when light comes, darkness goes.
Mm.
Jnana actually is opposed to Maya. It is the nature of the Brahman, isn't it? Satchidananda Swarupa. That
Mm.
chit aspect of Brahman is nothing but knowledge. That's the knowledge.
Aspect of knowingness, or
That's
aspect
what
of
we,
knowingness.
yeah, that's what we read in the previous verse, no? Knowledge, existence. That is knowledge. He's the principle of knowledge and existence. See, how do you know that you had a good sleep? That I had a good sleep. That awareness that that which runs in and through all the three states. That is Maya. That is opposed. It is like Sureshji said, it is the light that removes the darkness. You can't remove darkness with darkness. No amount of buckets of darkness you remove, will you get light. Like we learnt in the previous 2 slokas or so. Only
Right.
even the small lamp, small light, once you bring it in, the whole darkness as though disappears immediately.
Mm.
Yeah, I think this cross correlation, when we learn other scriptures and maybe chants, may not be directly possible. There be little bit of vichara also is needed. Otherwise, we might end up that. I'm glad that you brought it up. So now when you read it, you might want to go in meaning of that sloka that you learnt. And then
Correct.
that will bring up a bit different understanding for you. So this one train of thought is good to follow. That is why we cannot mix up Puranas with Advaita. Because Puranas, like it was said in the previous shloka, Vishnu is not the 4-armed Vishnu with Shankha, Gada and Chakra and all that. The term Vishnu is Vyapakatvat Vishnu. The one that is all-pervading is Vishnu. So the understanding of the terms also, with respect to Advaita, when you're looking, this train of thought is different from what we understand as Purana. So we cannot mix up Puranas with here. But if you know the difference, then in your mind there is that clarity. Oh, so here in this context, this is the meaning. Right?
Brahmaraji, can you say something about the Vibhu? Vibhu. Previous shloka.
Vibhuhu, right?
Yeah, in this shloka only Vibhuhu.
Yeah, in this one only, right?
Yeah.
Nopati gato Vibhuhu. Vibhuhu is also all-pervading, same as Vishnu. It is synonymous with Vishnu. It is like the space that is all-pervading, but we build those different rooms and we say, we give them names and then we see the multiplicity. But then in that multiplicity, underlying that is the all-pervading nature. Without that, there is no existence, no creation. So the Atma Tattva pervades in and through creation. That is the Vibhu aspect there.
Yeah, it is real wonder only. We just feel that wow.
Because yesterday, after dinner, Prem and I were watching Animal Planet, and it was, I think it was some shadow cat or something, the way it was hunting. So at that point, I just acclaimed. I said, it's funny that all of this that we're seeing is unreal, and we're experiencing all this, but all this is unreal. That's when Prem said, yeah, but you living in the practical world, you can't say which is what I quoted today. You can't say when you're feeling hungry, oh, my hunger is unreal, and then go without eating. So, getting rooted in Advaita, living in this world, that is the skill, suppose.
Gurudev always many times gives the example of that elephant, no? What is real? If the elephant comes in front of you and running towards you, you have to run. And the way you want to run, you need to run also, he explains. So that elephant is not of dream or unreal, it is real. So you have to run, otherwise you will get hurt.
Mm.
Two type of realities, no? Paramarthik and samsarik.
Vyavaharik, yeah.
Vyavharik, yeah.
Transactional reality and transcendental reality.
We need to balance both.
And only an analytical mind, a keen observation. That's why these phrases that Swami Chinmayananda has used, even through the introduction of Atma Bodha, are so beautiful. He says, with scientific analysis and keen observation, you will be able to handle your mind and go within, rather than seek some distractions for the mind. Otherwise, the mind can very easily fool you. Instead of looking within and analyzing what is happening, instead of processing all what is happening, in order, it might find a lot of escape routes, which is where we have to slowly bring it back, go within and understand, oh, why did I get hurt? What was it in me that got hurt? Why did I get angry? So things like that, if we can continue to practice and analyze and observe within, then that the cleansing process will start happening, and then it starts getting clearer and clearer. Otherwise, even as much as going to a temple, although it is otherwise purifying, if you do it in the right way, with the right attitude, it will only it will only remain an escape route. Going to a satsang or reading knowledge, even all of this that we're doing, if it is not done with the attitude of looking within and applying it to introspect and do that nididhyasana, then it will only remain a passing, another of our passing efforts in the world.
So true and so beautiful. Very true. Yeah. But earlier, when I used to chant and during, especially during Navaratris, there used to be confusion whether I should do this or that. But now it has become like natural. There is no confusion. Whatever is to be done is I'm doing, and I'm in Kartum Shakyam. Akartum shakyam, anyatha va kartum shakyam. So I mean, there is no contradiction now.
Yeah, that's very beautiful. As long as
Mm,
it's being out of joy and not for joy, then it's beautiful. There is no conflict in the mind.
yes. Lot of freedom has come now.
Mhm.
Earlier, it was like superstitious thing. If I don't do this, or if I do this. But now, after with the blessing of Nanaji, that grace has come. Very beautiful, yeah.
You
The
can
meaning,
Bela?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We discover the necessary courage to inquire in this fashion because we are not prepared to accept all statements of truth merely because they had been declared by the ancient and the learned. Both our head and heart must assimilate any new idea before they can become really our own. And in fact, then alone can these philosophical ideas readily reach our heart to guide us in our day to day life and its transactions. The word Rishikesha can be interpreted both in its mythological tradition as well as in its ancient usage. Taking it as Rish plus Kesha, it means one whose hair is made short. In the battlefield at Kurukshetra, we meet the Lord with all his curly hairs rolled up or clipped. In the ancient sense, the term Rishikesha can be dissolved as Rishika plus Isha equal to Rishikesha. No doubt, Rishika is an old and obsolete word meaning sense organs. And so the epithet means Lord of our sense organs. The sense organs can function only so long as the life exists in us. So long as the self, which is the Lord of the senses, reigns in this body, so long only are we enabled to see, smell, touch, speak, etc. It is the one and only spark of life that pervades everything. Without the flow of its enlivening spirit, nothing will operate in this body or exist in the outside world. That principle of life, that universal spirit, that all pervading Brahman is worthily called Vibhu, meaning the all pervading. This all pervading Vibhu, truth, the Brahman, appears to be the pluralistic world, as we have many times stated, because of the various conditionings, upadhis, through which it functions. For example, we construct different rooms in the vast open space, Akasha, and then we recognize distinct compartments in the one space as the drawing room, the bedroom, living room, etc. And then we ourselves come to treat the one Akasha as a multiple factor. We consider the numerous small spaces created by such a division as so many different room spaces. But when the walls are pulled down, the room spaces having separate individual existence and but thereby the Akasha in none of them is destroyed. The room spaces become the one all space. Similarly, when an individual ego associates with its various limiting factors, Upadhis, the cause for this world of plurality, comes to manifest. I read once again. Similarly, when an individual ego associates with its various limiting factors, Upadhis, the cause for this world of plurality, comes to manifest. When once these forces of limitation are destroyed, the one truth that is the basis of existence for everything shines forth as the one sun of all the and it, the one dynamic truth of life, is rediscovered as functioning through all the existence. Without it, there is no existence. And with this Vibhu, everything comes to exist. The Atman is one and the same before and after its realization. But when it groans under certain imaginary limitations, all due to the wrong estimations of the distorting mind, we superimpose upon it certain upadhis. And when these false limitations are removed, it is realized and rediscovered as the one self ever dwelling everywhere. So it is all the same reality which is in and through the creation as Vibhu or Vishnu. Yeah.
Just like how every individual ego, the I, discovers a world once we wake up. In deep sleep, all of us are in the same state. There is no my world, your world. All of us are experiencing that deep peace. It's only upon waking up that my world is different from what I perceive is different from what you perceive. So it is the identification of that individual small I that creates this world. Each one of us is actually the center of our creation. But in the deep sleep state, all of us are essentially the same. We're all experiencing that bliss which is uniform. And there is no world. The world doesn't exist there. It is only pure bliss, which is, of course, covered by Ajnana. And we are in the Karana Sharira space. Yeah, just wanted to share this.
Yeah, thank you for the clarity.
Wonderful,
Your
Brahmaraji. Thank you so much.
explanation always makes it so easy to understand, Brahmaraji. Dhanyavad.
Yes, yes, yes.
So, but when we extrapolate this deep sleep also, when we go to the Turyavastha, where it is where even the veil of ignorance is gone, that oneness, that Advaita Bhav is then, that is what is all pervading. That is where we all will be once we realize and rediscover. One step beyond the deep sleep state. And there all the small eyes will merge. And when we wake up in the morning, I think I'm just imagining for all enlightened masters, when they wake up, I wonder what the world looks to them as. Maybe they just see oneness everywhere. It's like how Arjuna had the question, Sthita Prajnasya ka bhasha. Please tell me how a Sthita Prajna. Yeah. They must be living a life when they open up their eyes and see, out of so much of compassion, how everybody else is getting caught up in small little things and For them, it must be like a drama, actually, like a continuous soap opera. It will be also for us if we slowly start applying this knowledge in our day-to-day life, isn't it? Which is what all our 5
Very
sutras
true.
are in the happiness program, is for us
Correct.
to use this knowledge in our day-to-day life. So darshan kriya, of course, when we do, we are in a beautiful sattva state. But when we go to the world of transaction, when we apply these 5 sutras, then we are again rooted back in reality, in that truth.
Once Gurudev said, no, when it's like a entertainment for us. All world is entertainment.
Yeah, experiencing that oneness with Prakriti also when I was reading Sri Raman Maharshi's, how close he was with Arunachal. So I was just curious to, but when that oneness comes, no, then even some poets, uh, poetry when I was reading, they feel so much oneness with all the elements also around them. So that's how, I mean, we still live in Dvaita Bhava. We still need to inculcate in our daily practical life. Then only we can protect the nature as well, and we can walk lightly on the planet. Yeah, so beautiful.
There will be no sorrow, I think. Vishoka Jyotishmati, yes, there will be no sorrow. Everywhere there will be only a Satchidananda
Celebration.
Swarupa celebration. Because like a passing cloud, everything will pass. I means this is only I'm feeling like this. कि ऐसा होगा या होगा.
It should be like that, isn't it? Like what it is, I mean, it is uh, so useless to feel sad about small, small, silly things. Instead, if every moment, if it becomes celebration, then it becomes so, I mean, everyone can be in that happy state. That ananda can become that our swabhava. So anyone would like to share or? नानोपाधिवशादेव जातिवर्णाश्रमादयः आत्मन्यारोपितास्तो ये रसवर्णादिभेदवत् नानोपाधिवशात् because of association with different conditionings, upadhi, eva only, jati varnashramadayah, caste, color, position, etc. Atmani upon the Atman, aropitah are superimposed, toe on water, rasavarnadi bhedavat, differences such as flavor, color, etc. नानोपाधिवशात् एव जातिवर्णाश्रमादयः आत्मनि आरोपिताः तोये रसवर्णादिभेदवत्. Because of its association with different conditionings, upadhis, such ideas as caste, color, and position, are superimposed upon the Atman as flavor, color, etc., are superimposed on water. I read once again. Because of its association with different conditionings, upadhis, such ideas as caste, color, and position are superimposed upon the Atman as flavor, color, etc. are superimposed on water. Whether one is an advocate, a doctor, or a porter, the inner personality factors are the same. The education obtained, the apprenticeship undergone, and the profession pursued are the only differences. They are all of one community, the community of man, but in their outer description and address, each differ from all others. Similarly, life is the same everywhere, but the expression of life manifested through each one of them differs from all others. Whatever be the physical shape and form, name or caste, whatever be the emotional beauty or intellectual grasp exhibited, the Atman is the same everywhere in all creatures. There is no difference, such as a young Atman, an old Atman, a Christian Atman, a Hindu Atman, a poor Atman, a rich Atman, etc. The life giving truth in the varied existence of things is the one reality, which equally thrills the entire panorama of things, persons, and personalities. It remains unaffected by and unattached to all outward marks, always a dispassionate observer of the endless drama of life. I repeat this beautiful last two lines. The life-giving truth in the varied existence of things is the one reality which equally thrills the entire panorama of things, persons, and personalities. It remains unaffected by and unattached to all outward marks, always a dispassionate observer of the endless drama of life. The same electric current alone causes the fan to revolve, the refrigerator to cool its contents, the light to burn differently in the green, blue, or red bulbs. Because of the difference in the manifestations of the energy as it passes through the different equipments, ignorant people call them all by different names. Yet the electricity wise man understands them all as depending upon the one energy. Water itself is colorless, although a given sample of it may be white, another yellow, and yet another sample red, each depending upon the nature of the extraneous matter it contains. In the same way, according to the type of vasanas in each individual, there seems to be difference between man and man. If we remove the contamination caused by the limitations, upadhis, and understand and experience the one inner spirit which runs through all the individuals, we would realize that the difference we have been perceiving is merely a superimposition on that one glorious reality, without whose illumination life would be dark and impossible, a non existent non entity. Should I read anything again? Please let me know. It is very, very
Balaji,
particular.
can you read the last paragraph that you read?
Yeah, yeah.
Energy. No, yeah, the last.
The same electric current alone causes the fan to revolve, the refrigerator to cool its contents, the light to burn differently in the green, blue, or red bulbs. Because of the difference in the manifestations of the energy as it passes through the different equipments, ignorant people call them all by different names. Yet, the electricity wise man understands them all as depending upon the one energy. Water itself is colorless, although a given sample of it may be white, another yellow, and yet another sample red, each depending upon the nature of the extraneous matter it contains. In the same way, according to the type of vasanas in each individual, there seems to be difference between man and man. If we remove the contamination caused by the limitations, upadhis, and understand and experience the one inner spirit which runs through all the individuals, we would realize that the difference we have been perceiving is merely a superimposition on that one glorious reality without whose illumination life would be dark and impossible, a non existent non entity. Yeah, let us share our understanding. It is so beautiful with two examples by Swamiji. It is the same electricity which is passing through different equipments, and we call them as different names, refrigerator or television or car or whatever. But the wise man, he knows that it is the same one energy which is converted into different forms. And in the second example, the way water takes, although it is colorless, but because of the extraneous matter, it appears to be white, yellow, or red. In the same way, the kind of vasanas what we have, there appears to be difference between man and man. And if this contamination, which is caused by the upadhis, when we understand that there is only one inner spirit which is running through all the individuals, that realization of that self-effulgent reality will become very clear. And without that, this is also important to remember that without that reality, the life would be dark and impossible, a non-existent non-entity. Shall I read further if no one is there to share? पञ्चीकृतमहाभूतसम्भवं कर्म सञ्चितं शरीरं सुखदुःखानां भोगायतनमुच्यते. Panchikrutam the 5 elements that have gone through the process of 5-fold self-division and mutual combination. Mahabhuta Sambhavam, made up of the 5 elements. Karma Sanchitam, determined by one's own past actions. Shariram, the gross body. Sukha Dukkhanam, for pleasure and pain. Bhogayatanam, medium of experiencing. Uchyate is said. Panchikrutam, Mahabhuta Sambhavam, Karma Sanchitam, Shariram, Sukha Dukkhanam, Bhogayatanam, Uchyate. Determined for each individual by his own past actions and made up of the 5 elements that have gone through the process of a 5-fold self-division and mutual combination, Panchikarana, are born the gross body, the medium through which pleasure and pain are experienced, the tent of experiences. I repeat the Tatparya, determined for each individual by his own past actions and made up of the 5 elements that have gone through the process of a 5-fold self-division and mutual combination, Panchikarana, are born the gross body, the medium through which pleasure and pain are experienced, the tent of experiences. Now we come to analyze.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
That tent of experiences is, I think that is tenement in the latest book I have. That is written very wrongly there. The last pain are experienced. The tenement, Tenement of experiences, not tent of experiences.
Okay.
It doesn't sense. This is correct.
Yeah. So it is tenement of experience.
Tent is also fine. Ayatanam means a house. So this is the house. The Stula Sharira is the house where we experience all these, right? So I suppose the tent is right. You're right that tenement is also fine. But
this is the latest book I have brought it. In that it is written Tenement.
Yeah.
The tenement is a flat-like structure, and tent also. So earlier days, tent was what we lived in. Tenement is the modern day in which we both are right.
Okay, then. Thank you.
Yeah, both are, because ayatanam in Sanskrit means
tent,
like a house. Yeah, like a hut.
Yes, good. Thank you.
Yeah, I read once again. Did I read again?
Yes, please.
Yeah, okay. So the meaning I'm reading again. Determined for each individual by his own past actions and made up of the 5 elements that have gone through the process of a 5-fold self-division and mutual combination, Panchikarana, are born the gross body, the medium through which pleasure and pain are experienced, the tent of experiences. Now we come to analyze how the limiting factors or upadhis emerge, the biographical story of the growth and development of the bodies or layers of matter beneath which the Atman reveals as luminous consciousness. The 3 bodies are called the gross body, the subtle body, and the causal body. The gross body is composed of the 5 elements: space, air, fire, water, and earth. Observe the history of the body after death during its disintegration. Soon after life has departed from it, the heat contents pass out and the body becomes icy cold. Fire. It also bloats up and emits gas, air. and soon it decays in its own juicy contents, water. And finally, the bare physical structure decays to dust, earth. The space occupied by the body is yielded back, akasha. In all creation, the gross is derived from its subtler state, and we all know that the cause precedes the effect. In the theory of Panchikarana,
Cause precedes the effect.
okay, I read once again, sorry. In all creation, the gross is derived from its subtler state, and we all know that the cause precedes the effect. In the theory of Panchikarana, tad matram, that alone, it is very elaborately pointed out how these five elements are evolved, how they intermingle, and how from the subtle tanmatras, the gross elements come out. So we have to recall the Tattva Bodh here. The process of a fivefold self-division and mutual combination, Panchikarana. So the five elements in every stage, how they are evolving.
I'm just
Space,
reminded
air.
sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
How they picturize in movies and all that, how the genie out of nothing creates something. So there is some smoke, there is nothing at all in the beginning. And then there is some smoke that comes out, and from that smoke, there is actually a manifestation of something gross. Similarly, the whole world and our Stula Sharira, like right now what we are discussing, the Panchikarana. So from the subtler aspects, all these, after the Panchikarana happens, all these five elements, they divide and they mutually join each other. And then the different aspects of the gross body are formed. And then again, at the time of death, all of this actually starts disintegrating and it goes back into its original nature. And this temporary house or tenement or tent or whatever we call this body is what we so strongly associated ourselves with. Unfortunately, that's the whole tragedy of human existence, where we say this is my body, my mind, my ego, and all our efforts are to protect this. I'm not saying take care of our
And a
body.
one very nice sentence is written. So the bodies are only the layers of matter. In the first paragraph, it is said, now we come to analyze how the limiting factors or upadhis emerge. The biographical story of the growth and development of the bodies or layers of matter beneath which the Atma reveals. It's so small existence, it's only a layers of matter. Bodies are nothing but the layers of matter.
Isn't it?
They have written, no? Bhoga yatanam. Bhoga ayatanam, that is medium of experience. The body is only the medium. That's what they say. Tent. Very good. If you
I'm
see
just
this,
what this Professor Dur, Gurudev keeps quoting him, this physicist who studied matter for 3 decades only to understand that it does not exist. So similarly, it is like the genie, Maya, has created all of us. And we actually don't we're not real in the true sense of it. But it is this ajnana, this veil of avidya that is making us feel that this is real. And giving us that limited identification, association with everything around us. That is
we
why
are like that animated picture,
Yeah.
an animated picture
Mm.
where we do the animation, the picture, the movie,
Mm.
one by one frame. And it just the movement causes the movement, space, that, this. So this body is like that.
Yeah, and even when at the time of the death, they say that like exactly like watching a cinema, our whole lifespan comes in front of us like a cinema for just 2-3 minutes, and then the process of prana leaving the body starts. So that is also really, if we can go deeper into this functioning of cinema, how the picture comes and how the that itself, and then what is the source from where the light is coming on that strip of film, which is projecting the whole picture on the screen. Even if we understand that completely, no, it will help us so much in our spiritual understanding also. Isn't it, Jai Gurudev?
Yeah, very beautiful. So true.
I remember Gurudev saying when the five elements or whatever means your body is hollow and empty. If we collect that all our body, it will be fit into the matchbox. So little is our matter.
And staying with this knowledge, which is what Gurudev said in the previous satsang, I suppose. He said, read knowledge and stay in knowledge. So when you do this, the intellect gets purified, that vichara happens, and there's more clarity that dawns. And we notice that this hold that the ego has on us, the identification slowly starts loosening up. Rather than be uptight, it loosens up. Yeah, I think we can maybe continue a bit. Belaji, yes, sorry, we interrupted.
Even when we observe a very close person of the family going through this process of like end of the journey, it really gives you spiritual knowledge, because you can identify with that person because of family, like my father just now. So that also opens up so many things.
Yeah. So a five-fold self-division and mutual combination, Panchikarana, five elements. In the first stage, five elements, space, air, fire, water, earth. The description suggests tanmatras, each in itself.
कोण आलं होतं?
Second
Bell
stage,
वाजली होती.
kindly mute yourself if by mistake you are unmuted, please. In the second stage, they are divided into two equal parts, tendency to divide into two equal parts. In the third stage, the split completes. And in the fourth stage, from each element, the other half, one half remains intact, and from the other half, split into another four. And then in the fifth stage, each half married with four beads borrowed from all others. And that completes the Panchikarana. The five great elements are space, air, fire, water, and earth. Before their grossifications, They were each themselves and in their pure natural states. They are called the Tanmatra. Tanmatra, Tad Matram, that alone. Their grossifications takes place in 5 definite scientific stages. Stage 1, they remain in their own individual pure state. Stage 2, each tanmatra of all the 5 elements shows a tendency to split into 2 equal halves. Stage 3, they split into 2 halves. Stage 4, at this stage, half tanmatra of each element remains intact and the other half divides itself into 4 equal bits, each bit being 1/8 of the whole tanmatra. Thus, at this stage, each tanmatra of stage 1 has split into 5 segments, 1/2 bit and 4 1/8 bits. In the stage 5, in this last stage, each half remains the same and it combines with the 4 1/8 bits borrowed from all other 4 elements. Thus, gross sky equal to 1/2 of space element plus 1/8 of akasha, 1/8 of fire, 1/8 of water, and 1/8 of earth.
That's air, Balaji. The A is for air.
Oh, sorry.
The space,
fire.
yeah.
Madam, not
yeah.
akasha. Yeah, space is akasha. Yeah. So I read once again, sky, 1/2 is space, 1/8 is air, 1/8 is fire, 1/8 is water, and 1/8 is earth. In air, 1/2 is air, 1/8 is space, 1/8 is fire. No, I think here, I think Brahmaraji can explain.
Yeah, this is 1/2 is air, 1/8
Yeah.
is space, 1/8 is fire, 1/8 is the
Water,
water, and 1/8 is the earth.
Yeah.
And then when you come to the fire, it'll be the half of the fire, and 1/8 of the space, 1/8 of the air, and 1/8 of the water, and 1/8 of the earth. So it's vice versa.
1/8 is
right?
earth, yeah.
Yeah.
And
And the water
water
comes, half water, 1/8 space, 1/8 air, 1/8 fire, 1/8 earth. Then the earth comes, half earth, 1/8 space, 1/8 air, 1/8 fire, and 1/8 water.
Yeah. Dhanyavad. Very nice. Yeah. The human body, as already stated, is the equipment with which we perceive things. Should I read further or we can stop here? We can read this tomorrow.
Just 2 paragraphs, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's only 5 minutes. You can finish it.
Yeah.
Okay. The human body, as already stated, is the equipment with which we perceive things, and it is with the sense organs available in the body that we derive our quota of pleasure and pain, which in their turn give us a measure of our success and failure in our individual lives. The enjoyment of pleasure and pain, bhoga, in this physical body, the hut of pleasure, the hall of experience, is determined by our past karmas. Thought by thought, action by action, we have demanded the present body and mental equipment. In fact, even while we are alive and acting here now, we order the shape of the future life to be. Unless we conquer the bad vasanas by right conduct and practice systematically the righteous values of life, we do not come to live in an atmosphere in which our thoughts and actions are sufficiently divine and to be directly helpful for our own progressive evolution. If therefore now rests with us to make or mar our progress, to get a better life with plenty of opportunities in which we can slowly and steadily go forward and ultimately come to realize the supreme truth, or to get a wicked one in which we can dive ourselves into a greater gloom. With our own actions, we give a blueprint to God, ordering the exact shape of our destiny, and according to the specifications given, the body, the tent of experience, is built and handed over to each one of us by the all merciful, omnipotent, divine Creator.
Can we read that last line one more time? We're
Yeah.
giving the blueprint to the God and we design ourselves, looks like. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Very, very,
Just,
it is
yeah,
a
just the
takeaway.
last line. Yeah, last
Yeah.
line.
With our own actions, we give a blueprint to God, ordering the exact shape of our destiny. And according to the specifications given, the body, the tent of experience is built and handed over to each one of us by the all merciful, omnipotent, divine Creator.
It looks like our progress report, like after you
Mhm.
did the exam.
And we are
Whatever you
the
did,
writer and we are the creator for that
right?
report
We
also.
get it ourselves. Oh my
Mhm.
God.
So
Oh my
beautiful,
God.
mind
We
blowing.
have so
So,
much freedom. We order our own
yeah,
dish.
like as if you ordered something in the restaurant and get to get it like that. Whatever you did, you get it back. You know, it's like the Newton third law: action with equal reaction.
That Icha Shakti, they say, whatever
Mm,
you desire, Guru, this divine will say, Tathastu.
that's true.
Tathas. So,
Whatever we got, tatastu.
so only. So what we have got
We-
is Tathastu only. That
right.
is
It's
prasad,
like,
prasada.
yeah, it is like
It's
we're born with this
mm,
bag of vasanas. If we imagine
mm,
vasanas to be different colors, if it is all dark and dirty and we're getting more, darker colors too during this life, that is the only color with which our future lives will be dictated. That is the same color or the same dirt that will go on. But in this life, if we can purge these vasanas, like purging that bag of dirty bag in the water, if we are able to live our life as as karma yogis, and these vasanas are purged, then what remains is just white, pure white color, and that is what our future life will be. Of course, when it's completely pure white, it's completely clean. There is no, mm, I mean, that's the state of enlightenment. So it is all about how we gather more vasanas, or are we purging our vasanas? Yeah.
we have to get a measuring tape or something
Mm,
to do that. Washing the
yeah,
mind off of it, right? That's
really.
all
You
those
have to get
impressions.
That
this
is what is
every day
pranayama and what
is a,
we do, no?
yeah,
Cleaning the
More
mind.
thoughts, more desire, more dirt.
right. Every day we should put our own mind into a washing cycle and say, are
Yeah,
we
yeah,
washing
washing
out?
machine. Try to wash it off
Washing
every
cycle.
day.
Wash
Mm.
it out.
So, like you said, yeah, that's the sadhana and the sadhya, right? So, two things we have to keep in mind, that sadhana is to prepare to reach the goal.
Every day morning, get up, clean your mind.
Mm.
First thing.
With that Sudarshan Kriya
Sudarshan Kriya and all that.
and
Those are the
meditation.
tools. So
Yeah,
how
today I
important
did.
yoga is. So important.
Hari
So,
Om.
shall we? Yeah, we'll stop here today. Sorry.
Thank
Did you
you.
want to share for a minute or so? That's fine before
Just a minute. Hari
Yeah.
Om, everyone. See, the everyday morning getting up and washing the mind, it is not everyday morning getting up washing the mind. The washing the mind is a continuous process, like how you wash a cloth in running water. That is how it should be. It is a continuous 24/7 process, not by doing kriya and 20 minutes of meditation. During that time, you wash, and later on, you get back to your normal state, whatever it is for the rest of the day. No, that is not it is.
Completely agreeing with you.
If you do the
Completely
kriya, if you do the meditation, that stillness of mind should be there with you throughout the day and even beyond. Okay, and talking about the vasana and all that, like I gave this example some time ago. Like if you buy a bottle of apple juice and you start using it for drinking water after the juice is finished, then while washing, the label of the bottle also has gone. So the label does not talk that it's an apple juice bottle. But after few times using it, also when you wash the bottle and when the bottle dries up, cleans up, when you smell it, faintly you will get that apple juice, apple smell, right? Many of our juice bottles, it's like that. Then what happens? The uh, we know that without label, it's an apple juice. So this bottle, which is called our mind and our vasanas, it should be continuously kept in the flow of knowledge, flow of this water of knowledge, not just knowledge. Somebody asked Swami Chinmayananda, I have gone through Gita many times. He smiled and he asked that guy, okay, but how much of Gita has gone through you, my dear? He asked. That is what we have to question ourselves. We are going through knowledge, getting up at early morning and doing all this. How much of we are going through knowledge? How much of this knowledge is flowing through us? Once that starts flowing, this washing will be instantaneous. And vasana means not enjoying anything. It's not like restricting yourself from having the daily little pleasures. You want to have a tasty food or a nicely smelling coffee. It doesn't say that you should not do all that. Close your mouth, nose, and all that, and sit in one corner. No, with the awareness, everything with awareness, not letting that control you. You be its controller, not that being controlling you. That is what it is. That is how we get rid of the so-called vasanas. Hari Om.
Yeah. Jai Gurudev. Thank you. I think tomorrow onwards we will stop 5 minutes before. We'll stop the manana so we can complete on time. And everybody will, I request everyone to pay attention to the time. Thank you. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Jai Gurudev. I'll
Jai
just
Gurudev.
play Maya Panchaka.
Okay. If you want me to play, okay.
निरुपमनित्यनिरंशकेऽप्यखण्डे मयि चिति सर्वविकल्पनादिशून्ये घटयति जगदीश जीवभेदम् त्वघटितघटना पटीयसी माया त्वघटितघटना पटीयसी माया श्रुतिशतनिगमान्तशोधकानपि अहह धनादिनिदर्शनेन सद्यः कलुषयति चतुष्पदाद्यभिन्ना न घटितघटना पडीयसी माया सुखचिदखण्डविबोधमद्वितीयम् वियदनलादिविनिर्मित्ते नियोज्य भ्रमयति भवसागरे नितान्तम् त्वघटितघटना पटीयसी माया अपगतगुणवर्णजातिभेदे सुखचितिविप्रविडाद्यहं कृतिं च स्फुटयति सुतदारगेहमोहम् त्वघटितघटना पटीयसी माया विधिहरिहरविभेदमप्यखण्डे बत विरचय्य बुधानपि प्रकामम् भ्रमयति हरिहरविभेदभावानघटितघटना पटीयसी माया त्वघटितघटना पटीयसी माया